Hello, you. I am glad you are here and that we get to hang out for the next 20 minutes, 30 minutes, however long. It is never long enough, which is why we record this every week. And by we, I mean me, records this every week, coming straight to your ears. Like, what a wonderful thing the internet is, truly. Sometimes I think about the black hole that is the internet. And sometimes I think about the fact that like I can watch videos about people doing voiceovers for penguins just because somebody decides to make them. And it's before I get on a soapbox about how much I love humanity and how much I also am heartbroken by humanity. People do voiceovers for videos of penguins, and humans are funny, funny little gremlins. So anyway, hi, hello, howdy. I hope you are thriving. And if you are not, I hope that you get the support that you need. And if you can hear crunching, it's my cat sitting on a stack of paper because, he can't just exist quietly while we're recording. He hasn't done anything all morning, but now that I hit record, he's like, must crunch paper. Because you know how cats are. We loves him anyway. So Kitty is here being my co-host this morning. Today we're going to talk about, does gratitude actually make you happy? And if you are alive, I'm sure that you have seen my brain just stopped working. I'm sure that you've seen the research on gratitude or come across something that says gratitude will change your life and positive affirmations will change your life and all these things. And I want to talk a little bit about, is that true? Or are these people just trying to sell you something that doesn't work? Are they lying to you? We're going to discuss. But before we get there, I want to tell you about the group coaching container that I have built out for you. Because if you listen to this podcast, you are my people. You are my person. We are besties. Just accept it. We're best friends now. And it will help you. So the container specifically is for people who are just tired of feeling walked over and like a doormat and letting people take advantage of you because you deserve better. And really, a lot of people are kind of teaching this work, but they're not really teaching this work, or they're not very good at teaching this work, which is also very sad. So I am good at what I do, which is why I built out a container, and I love working with people who struggle with people pleasing. Like, that is my peanut butter and jammy jam. Like, I love it. I love it. It combines a lot of the things that I love. So when I was thinking about branching into coaching and getting into that, and I thought, self, what are we going to coach on? And I thought trauma or depression or anxiety, which is the work that I do in my private practice. But really I landed on people pleasing, which combines a lot of those things and is just on my heart. So since a lot of what I talk about is following those heart tugs and I practice what I preach, we're going to do it. So if you are interested in working with me personally, now it'll be in a group container, so it's not one-on-one. But you'll be in a group with maximum 11 other people, maximum 12 total, who are like you, who want to be authentic, who want to stop being so scared of being yourself around people, and who are just freaking tired, who are just tired of being walked over and being treated like crap and being disrespected and dating toxic arseholes. Like, this is for you. You can apply. It is an application process because I'm only taking people who fit, right? Some people are not for me. I am not for everyone. That is absolutely okay. You can apply on my website, livemyhappyhealth.com/group coaching. That is going to give you more information about it, and it's going to lead you to the application. I truly, sincerely hope to see you in there because it is going to help you. Like, the work that I do changes lives, and you deserve it. You deserve to be happy and to be who you are and to not be so afraid to be honest. So, livemyhappyhealth.com/coaching. That will get you there. If you want to just start somewhere for free and you're like, oh, Amanda, I just discovered you. Like, I don't know if I want to work with you yet. Don't worry, livemyhappyhealth.com. You're going to see the freebies that I offer as well. We've got a daily journal prompt to start rewiring your brain for abundance and manifestation. We have got a clarity guide, so go from confused to clear on who you are, what you want, all of those things. And we've got a free 3-step guide to start changing your brain path, which starts with awareness and goes all the way to changing your thoughts. Now that has been 5 minutes of my lead-in. But hi, if you're still here, okay, we're gonna dig in. So I was thinking about this episode. So I plan all the episodes in advance, and when I was writing out, what do I want to talk about in 2022, which is when this episode is airing. First of all, God bless you for making it, right? You're still here. You are still here. So kudos to you. I am proud of you. I don't care what you had to do to survive. I'm proud of you. And I talk a lot about gratitude, and something that I see in the wellness space, and the reason that this episode is titled, Does Gratitude Make You Happier? Well, when I was Googling gratitude, this is one of the questions that came up. So here we are. A lot of people, I think, get gratitude wrong. And so they think that they will start a gratitude practice and immediately they feel grateful and immediately things fall into place. And there's a lot of nuance to that. So I'm not going to hold you hostage for this whole episode. Does gratitude make you happier? Yes, quite literally it does. Tons of research shows that. It literally creates structural changes in your brain. It rewires your brain because neurons that fire together wire together. So when you start firing a gratitude practice consistently, repetitively, well, your brain is going to start walking that path more. It's going to be the easier path to take, kind of like if you walk a hiking trail that a lot of other people walk on, it's very, very easy to walk on. But if you're the first person to walk on it, it's hard. I mean, because there's literally no trail. So if this is a new practice for you, it's going to feel sticky. It's going to feel hard. You're going to trip over roots. You're going to slide down a mountain. One time, here's a funny story. I worked at a dude ranch for like a week and it was the worst. It was horrible. It was horrible. And it was in Tennessee and it was very rainy. I didn't actually realize that they still had winter in like March. Like I didn't realize that it would snow in winter because I was from Florida. So I got there and I had to buy a ton of winter clothes. And I was like, oh my God, I hate my life. I am so cold. And we took a group out and one of the riders, their horse got their halter stuck and they were wigging out. So I had to get off my horse and go fix it. And I forgot to tie my horse up. So my horse took off naturally. So here I am like working for this ranch and my horse like took off. So I had to go up and down this mountain after it had rained and it was so slippery and I was so pissed, y'all. I was so mad. All these people thought it was hilarious. They were like dying laughing at me, which, felt super great. So I'm like crawling up and down this freaking mountain looking for this damn horse. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm going to get fired. I am such an idiot. Oh, what is wrong with me? It was the worst. And I fell on this trail. And I was, y'all, if I could have just like blown up the earth in that second, I would have blown up the freaking earth. I was so mad. And I was like, F this horse and F this mountain. Like I was so pissed. And that was a really good analogy. Oh, by the way, the horse just went home. Like it just went back to the barn and started eating grass, which everyone thought was hilarious and I got roasted for. So, glad I could be some entertainment. But the point of that story is that I was walking on a path that was well worn, but I hadn't walked it very much. So even though a lot of people practice gratitude and the research is there and research overwhelmingly shows that you create positive structural changes in the brain, it leads to happiness. We're going to talk about more of the benefits in a second. Even though there was this path that like was well worn, I was not used to it. So I was slipping and it was wet and I was just pissed the whole time. So when you start a new practice, you're gonna be bad at it. Like you're not gonna be great at being grateful until you're great at being grateful. But that takes practice. That takes consistency. That's why we call it a practice, not a switch. You can't just turn a gratitude switch and then be like, oh, well, I'm super grateful now for everything in my life. Like you may not even be grateful for everything in your life. I'm not grateful for everything in my life. That's not realistic. So the answer to the question, does gratitude make you happier, is overwhelmingly a yes. Overwhelmingly, it is a yes. And it takes practice to get there. You're not going to get there tomorrow if you're just starting. It's going to feel weird. It's going to feel fake. It's going to feel sticky. But that's just because you're not there yet. That's okay. Keep going. Anything that I talk about, anything that you hear anyone talk about that is a skill, keep going, because you're going to suck at first. One reason is you don't even know what you don't know. So you have to like consciously think about being grateful, which takes some energy, and sometimes you're going to forget, and sometimes you're going to not do it, and that's totally okay. We just want to do it when we think about it. We want to try and think about it consistently. So it will create happiness. And here's some of the other benefits that like you may not know about, but I'm going to tell you, so then you're going to know. Like, podcasting is so fun. I just get to implant knowledge into your noggin, and it's like, so great. You can like listen to BS, or you can like listen to this and up-level your life. So, or you can do both. This is your dream. Anyway, benefits of gratitude. It improves your sleep. And we're going to talk about why in a second. It improves your sleep. It improves your mood. It rewires your brain for positivity. And I don't know if you have, well, we can just talk about it now because it's my podcast and we can do what we want. I don't know, y'all. I'm hyped this morning. Like, we are getting ready to party. I love to talk about gratitude. It is a thing. It's a thing. So it improves your sleep. Why? Because it down regulates your central nervous system. You cannot be crazy stressed out and grateful at the same time, because you can't run from a bear and be like, oh my God, I just like, I really needed to exercise today. And thank God this bear showed up, because now I can run from a bear. Like, that is not going to happen, friends. So when we practice gratitude, we are in a space of abundance. We are in a space of calm. We are in a space of thriving, because you have to be safe in order to have enough time to notice the things around you that you're grateful for. That's one of the reasons that it improves your sleep. It down regulates your central nervous system from being stressed out and anxious and amped up all the time. It improves your mood. Why? Well, for the next one, it rewires your brain for positivity. Things that fire together, wire together. Now, if you are firing together, looking for, because that is a practice, looking for things to be grateful for, expressing gratitude, telling people that you're thankful for them, telling things that you're thankful for them, telling opportunities that you are thankful for them, you're going to start making that your normal. Just like if you've met people who are like super heckin' negative, that's who they are all the time. They have to work really hard to even be neutral. And that may be where you start, and that's okay. We're going to talk about how to get to gratitude in a second, but we're going to stay on benefits. So you start making it your new normal. Whatever you practice becomes your normal. It becomes who you are. Who you are repeatedly is who you become, right? So if you want to become a new person, if you want to become someone who is grateful, who is gratitude embodied, you're going to have to start embodying gratitude on the regular. So when we do that, whenever we think of a new thought or a new pattern, or we build new habits, you're literally rewiring your brain. And brains are plastic, not plastic like Tupperware containers. Plastic like malleable. It is a muscle just like any of your other muscles. If you do a bunch of deadlifts, you're going to have a big old booty and some quality legs. Like, I recommend deadlifting, as long as you know how. But you can learn. Just like gratitude is a practice, so is deadlifting. So it is going to improve your mood. You're going to literally be a happier person, which has a whole host of other benefits. Then practicing gratitude becomes easier. Why? You're happier. Your life gets better. I have quite literally never, and you can write this on my tombstone, I will die on this hill happily. I have never met someone who is miserable and who is ungrateful who is succeeding. Now, is it easier to be grateful if you have more privilege? Yeah, obviously it is, right? Let's not pretend that it's not. But also, they're correlated. If you are more grateful, if you are in more positive, more things happen positively for you, because you recognize opportunities, because you're willing to take them, because you're not shutting everything down and complaining all the time. So you become more positive through a gratitude practice, because if you're always looking for things to be grateful for, Well, guess what you're going to find? If you're always looking for things to be miserable about, guess what you're going to find? And I can tell you, and I bet you know, because I'm sure that you know someone like this. I can tell you what kind of relationships you're going to have. I can tell you what kind of job you're going to have. I can tell you how much you like your job. I can tell you how much money you spend if you're miserable trying to make yourself happy. I can tell you how you spend your time. I can tell you the quality of your relationships. All of those things are directly correlated to your mood. If you are a positive person, if you are a negative person, gratitude makes you a positive person. So it changes everything in your life. So if you want more things out of life, if you want something different than what you've gotten, I encourage you to look at and think about how you view the world and if you are even grateful for the shit you have now. Because why would the universe or God hand you more things that are abundant, that are wonderful, that are aligned with you if you're not even grateful for what you have? You can't act like a spoiled child who's miserable and expect to get everything that you want out of life. That it doesn't work that way. So gratitude also sets you up for abundance. It sets you up for the next level because you're open to it, because you're grateful for it, because energetically, when you're in a grateful space, that's super, super high vibes. Not that everyone's there all the time, right? There are certainly days where it is harder to be grateful. That's why it's a practice. We do it even when we don't feel like it, kind of like you practice sports, even when you don't necessarily feel like it. We don't rely on being motivated. It is a disciplined practice. Back to benefits. It reduces stress and burnout. Why? Again, you cannot run from a bear and be grateful. I mean, I guess you could. You would be really disciplined at that practice. Like I spilled my coffee this morning. I was not grateful about it. I was upset because it went all over my freaking kitchen, like right before this episode. I made this and it was beautiful. It was such a good latte. Like, and I spilled the whole damn thing. And I was like, you know what, Amanda? This is fine. This is totally fine. Was I grateful about it? No, you're not always going to be grateful, right? But it is a practice. So it reduces stress and burnout because it puts you in a state of calm. It puts you in a state of positivity. Again, if you're looking for positive things, you're going to find them more often. Happier people are less stressed people, and they're able to weather stress better. So there's that. It makes you more kind. I've never met anyone who's miserable who's genuinely kind. They may be manipulatively nice. They may be nice when they want something, but they're not genuinely kind people. So gratitude makes you more kind, which again gives you more opportunities. It improves your relationships. It makes you happier because you're not manipulative. You're not being an asshole. So you're more kind. It fosters hope. I've never met someone who's hopeless who is happy because all they see is negatives. Now, you know, people have more positive than other people. This would not be a good conversation if we didn't talk about privilege and opportunities and things like that. But that doesn't mean that we can't be grateful for what we do have. It fosters resilience because you're calmer, your central nervous system is not as wigged out, which means you have more room to be stressed and to handle stress. It makes you less reactive and less resistant because if you're always in crisis mode, if you're always stressed out, if you're always overwhelmed, you're also always reacting, and that's not helpful for your nervous system. We can't always be running from a bear. So again, we cannot do both at the same time. You can be grateful or you can run from a bear. The more that we are in a gratitude state, the more that we're open to things being good or working out, the better your life is going to be. Now, I hope through all those benefits, you're like, wow, damn, Amanda, that is a lot of things. You're right, it is. And there's more, but I don't want to just tell you all the benefits. Once you start practicing, you can tell me the benefits. What have you noticed? How has your life changed? Let me know. Instagram, at Amanda_chills_therapist. So how do we even practice gratitude? Like, if you're like, yeah, Amanda, that's like super cool, but my life sucks. And you know what? Nothing does go right for me. And everything is terrible, and I live in a swamp, and I have no friends, and I hate my job, and it doesn't pay well, and all of these things. Well, friend, I am going to tell you, it's quite a simple practice. And a lot of people that I work with, because I do gratitude work with a lot of people that I work with, because, most people need it. And it's a very, very simple practice, but that doesn't make it easy. Like cutting a tree down is quite simple. Like cut the tree until it falls, but it's a science, right? And it's an art. And you need the right tools. So let me give you the right tools. Rule number 1, know what gratitude is. It is literally the act, the practice of being grateful. Now that is quite simple, right? But you're like, well, shit, Amanda, what do I even have to be grateful about? Good question. And I'm going to turn it around to you and I'm going to say, what do you have to be grateful about? What are you grateful for? And it's okay if you can only find one thing right now. That's okay. One thing is better than no things. And as you practice, that list is going to grow. Kind of like when you start playing the piano, you can really only play one song. But the more you practice, the more songs that you're able to play. So if you ask me, I'm going to start rattling off like a whole list of things that I'm grateful for. Whereas you might only have one thing. Like, okay, super legit. Start with that one thing and try and find another thing. So for example, I'm grateful for you because you are listening to this podcast. You allow me to have a business. You allow me to share my knowledge and to help people. There's a reason that I do this podcast, and it's because I can't work with the whole world one-on-one, and the stuff that I teach is valuable, and people should know about it. So I'm grateful for you, that you even exist. Now, you may be grateful for me, you may not be. Say la vie, whatever. But find something. I'm eternally grateful that the sun exists. There is nothing better to me than like sitting outside in the sunlight. I am grateful for birds. It's like a weird, people think it's weird. I don't care. I think it's great. I love birds. I think they are the most fabulous little animals. They're so funny. They're so fun to watch. And we have a ton of birds out at the farm and I just love them. We have this blue heron that will just, oh my God, they're so pretty. They're so graceful. It will just soar over the fields and I'm just like, I love it so much I want to eat it. Like I don't literally want to eat it because that would be mean. Even though I do eat other animals, but like I don't want to kill this bird and eat it. I love it so much. Like birds exist and they like hop around and they make those little noises and they're so cute and they just exist and they're so cute. So a good question to ask yourself when you're saying, okay, like how do I even find, I don't even like birds, so that doesn't work for me. Like how do I find things that I'm grateful for? Well, what do you think is cute? What makes your life easier? What makes your life bearable? If you were to categorize your life, like you can be grateful for things in your home where you stay. You can be grateful for people. You can be grateful for objects or things. You can be grateful for like natural elements, animals, sunlight, water, grass, whatever. You can be grateful for things about your job. If you're not working right now, you can be grateful for the opportunity to work. You can be grateful that things aren't worse. That one is kind of a gray area because we don't want to edge into toxic positivity, which is where we ignore reality that it's really hard and we're just so positive about it. But we can be grateful that things aren't worse. My dad was in a really, really bad motorcycle accident 10 years ago, almost died. It was horrible. Literally the worst time of my life. And I was so grateful that things weren't worse because he could have been dead. He could have lost his leg. He could have lost so much. And I'm grateful that things weren't worse. Were they bad? More than you know and more than I have time to tell you. But they weren't worse. So we can have things be not great right now. We can have things be terrible right now, be horrible, and be grateful that it is not worse. So we can hold space for both. We can contain multitudes. It is super legit. So most people will recommend like a gratitude journal. That's awesome. If you want to start writing, hey, live your dream, bud. But if you just want to wake up in the morning, and I would encourage you to do it in the morning and at night if you feel like doing it at night. I do it in the morning, but you don't have to do what I do. You can do whatever you want because you are your own person. I like to do it in the morning. And I just wake up and I say, I'm grateful for X. I'm grateful that I woke up. I could be dead, and then I would not be here recording this podcast, and everyone in my life would be devastated. Probably. Probably some people, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, we're grateful that we woke up. And one thing is enough. If you start with one, it will get better. Now, we also want to notice the little inner critic that may come up for you, especially if this is a new practice for you. You are probably going to have an inner critic that says, well, we're not really grateful for that. I don't really like that. This feels fake. This is dumb. This doesn't work. Whatever your little inner gremlin brain is telling you, we can be grateful for that gremlin brain. Why? Because it's trying to keep you safe. It's trying to keep you in the same pattern so that you don't spend more energy being alive. Your brain is just doing what it does. And if you scroll, if you have listened to that episode about how your brain doesn't want you to be happy. Now, I haven't done the schedule yet, so it may come out before this episode, it may come out after, but at some point this year, that episode will come out because I already recorded it and it is good. Now, your little gremlin brain may be your inner critic, and that's okay. We can't change our thoughts, but we can change how we respond to them. So we can thank our little gremlin brain for trying to keep us safe and trying to keep us from doing anything new, because new means scary, and we can go about doing those things anyway. So I want you to notice your inner critic. I want you to just let it be. Your inner critic can't stop you from doing things. You can still have a gratitude practice. And I want you to understand that the more you practice, the better you're going to get and the easier it's going to be for you over time, which is really the goal. The goal is that you get better over time. And I promise you that is going to happen. How do I know that's going to happen? One, I've worked with hundreds of people. Two, it's just a fact. When you practice something, you get better at it. That is life. That is life. So the more that you practice it, the better you're going to get at it, which is wonderful. And we're going to take that gratitude practice and we're going to let it change you. We're going to let it do what it does, which is make you happier, improve your relationships, give you more opportunities. And we're just going to allow that to happen because that is a really positive change. And we want to allow positive changes. So friends, that is our gratitude episode. We want to understand what gratitude is. It's literally just the practice of being grateful. So find things every day, at least one thing, one is a good place to start, that you are grateful for. And it can be simply waking up. It can be tacos. Oh my God, tacos exist. That is a brilliant thing to be grateful for. Tacos. We love them. We want to notice the benefits as well. And we want to just start being grateful, being aware of our little gremlin brain when it's going to come up, because it will. That's what gremlin brain does. That's okay. We can make room for it. And we want to keep going and we want to allow it to make the positive changes that I know it is going to make for you. And if you feel like it, send me a thing that you're grateful for, or post a thing you are grateful for, post your little list and tag me in it, like at Amanda_Chills_therapist. I would love to see what you are coming up with. And again, if you want to work with me in a very curated, lovely, close container, you can apply for my group coaching. I'm only going to run it twice a year. So if you miss them, you miss them, and it'll be next year. livemyhappyhealth.com/group coaching. You can apply. I hope to see you there. And if I'm not right for you, super legit, I hope you find who is. Okay, y'all go be wonderful. I, again, am grateful for you for even taking the time to listen to this episode. Have a great day.